Hello, I'm Jeff Ajik. I'm the owner and founder of Laction and Continuous Improvement Central, and today I want to talk to you about an overview of the waste recording form. Now, this tool is a handy tool when you're starting to do process improvement or just to keep something on hand for an individual to document issues they come up with in their day-to-day operations. So you can either use this as an ongoing log of issues that a person faces, or it can be used when you send a group to go observe an operation in the context of a improvement project. So it's a pretty simple form. At the top, you want to make sure that you have the process name and then the start and end point, so you give yourself a little bit of like parameter about it, and you put down the observation date so you can go back and reference when this happened in case things have changed. And then of course put the observer's name. So every form you have, you want to make sure that you put the header information there, because you'll be surprised how often it's left blank, and then people go back and try to understand things, or something's written and they don't know who to talk to, or they don't know when it was taken. So make sure you fill that stuff out. The page you'll do after you're done, this will be page one. The of how many pages depends on how detailed you get. So now, as you go into it, the process step or name, this one, it really depends on what you're doing. So if you're just observing one process step, you don't really need to fill it out in the moment. It just takes a little bit extra time. And sometimes when you're observing, you get things coming rapid fire. The description of waste, it's not a huge line, so you don't have a lot of space to write things in, but you want to be fairly descriptive in a way that people can go back and understand what it was that you were talking about, so that when they come back later, there's enough clarity that they can have enough information to go back and ask the question. Now, what we do on our form is a little bit different than some of the other forms you might see. Many of them will have the category waste here like we do, and you just want to be able to categorize it based on the 7 wastes. And then these are ones that go way back to the original Toyota system, production system. Taiichi Ohno, I think, was the one who came up with this, or Shingo maybe, but they kind of categorize it in a way that makes it easier to focus yourself when you're looking. So the 2 ways you do this is, one is you go in there saying, okay, I'm looking for defects specifically, and you just focus your eyes on that, or you can just look for everything and then put it into one of the categories once you've observed it. This doesn't have to be done immediately. You can go back and look at it later. It can have more than one category. The priority, you want to do that at the end. So once you've taken all your data and you're back in your conference room talking things over, you want to kind of categorize these things about what's important to fix and what's not. And you want to do your how difficult you think it will be to fix. And this is just an initial assessment, because again, you have limited resources and you want to make sure that you have a good focus. And if you're not sure of what one is, falls into which category here, then you want to do a little bit more analysis on it. So this isn't the end all be all. What it is, though, is it is a tool to help you get started as you need to figure out how much of these defects need more detailed data collection. So again, this is just an observation. It tells you where to get started. It's a really useful tool when you're working on a quick project where you have a team of 6 or 7 people going after something in the course of a week, and one process in your operation on your production line, and you just get a swarm of people who are going to go after things. In that case, if you get something wrong and you work on the 3rd most important thing instead of the 1st most important thing, you're still making good progress and you're still doing what you were expecting in a Kaizen. But you do want to get the highest things first. So if you're doing only the bottom things, now that said, if you kind of look at these things here, you'll notice that these things fall into something that's called 9 square, and I'd encourage you to go look it up. It's a way of categorizing where these things fall on their spectrum, and there's a way to kind of prioritize based on a combination of importance and ease. So you don't want to just do the easy ones if they're not important, but you also don't want to be leaving low-hanging fruit on the tree if there's something that's got a little bit more value to it, but it is the easier item. So you do have to make a decision on, important versus easy, and it is a tool that helps you do that. So I encourage you to put this form to use. Normally I recommend doing a paper copy because it's a little bit easier for people to go through and they don't make mistakes, but modern technology does make it a lot easier to do this on, digitally with a tablet and things like that. So I do encourage you to use it, whichever format it is that you desire. The next thing I want to say, though, about this is all of our forms and tools have a user guide to go with it. So this is just an initial overview. The details about what I talked about will be in the user guide. The leader's guide is a tool to help you manage people using it. So if you're in charge and you want to get people to be really effective at going and doing waste walks and using the waste recording form, dive into our toolkits and see what's available in our catalog. And there's a lot there to help you put these tools to really effective use. A lot of training to back it up too. Have a good day.